Well, that game just flat out sucked. The Leafs go into Boston, having come off that tough overtime loss against the Detroit Red Wings, and the Bruins are beat up. No Chara, no Patrice Bergeron, no Jake DeBrusk. And they make the Leafs look silly. For most of this game, look, the Leafs did dominate at some points, but they could not beat Yaroslav Halak. And then Frederik Andersen, look, he had a tough night. Statistically, he had a tough night. Was it 6 goals on 22 shots? Not a very good Freddie Andersen type of night. But the amount of chances they were giving up, I think one was a breakaway, the other one was like 2-on-1s and 3-on-1s. I mean, like, how are these happening? It's defensive breakdowns, or it's turnovers in the neutral zone, or it's stuff like that that was killing this team in the game today. Like I said, there were times where the Leafs dominated play. Look, guys, where are we here? Shots on goal were 32 apiece. Now, I know we've talked about how shots on goal are kind of a meaningless stat. They are, to a certain extent. I thought the Leafs played a pretty good game today. Offensively. Couldn't bury some. Had some tough chances. Yaroslav Halak made some big saves. But in the end, late in the third, or midway through the, early in the third period, you're down 6-1. You know, and that can't be happening. You're down 4-0 in the third period. Travis Dermott fires one on, makes it a 4-1 game, and we're like, okay, maybe, right? That was only 4 minutes into the third period. Now, 30 seconds after that, David Krejci scores to make it 5-1. Then Donato makes it 6-1. And then the Leafs try and make it interesting with 2 goals in 3 minutes, with Austin Matthews scoring his 16th and Andreas Johnsson on the power play scoring his 7th. But a big turning point, and I think the game was when the Bruins had like 4 power plays in a row. They had 1 power play, they scored. They had another power play almost directly after that. And the Leafs got a power play because it kind of negated the 4-on-4. Now, like 10 seconds after that, the Leafs take another penalty. It was a really weird part of the game. If I'm not mistaken, it was 2-0 at that time. If I'm not mistaken, am I right about that? No. I think it was a 1-0 game. I think in the game, and then Backes scored the power play goal, and then all hell broke loose after that. Now, I'm not here to blame the referees. They were tough calls. Kadri got a stick in the guy's skates. He kept his feet moving, and he tripped over his skates. Look, I understand you could argue that's not a trip, but where his stick was and where the guy fell looks like a trip. Right? I mean, it's the way it is. They're going to call it all the time. And the first goal, he had 2 whacks at Freddie Andersen. And the second one went in. You know, and Torrey Krug, just a good shot. You know, good shot with a screen in front. I think Dayton Heinen, didn't he have the breakaway or something? I don't know. There was too many goals in the game. But this team just did not play well defensively. And they lost. So now the times the Leafs have played in Boston, they have looked terrible. Last time I think they lost like 4-0. They got shut out by Yaroslav, or it was 4-1 or something like that. Excuse me, guys. Not feeling too great here. You know, it was just a really, really tough time against Yaroslav Halak. They did all right at home. I think they scored like, 4 or 5 goals against him. But in Boston, they just have not looked good. Now, how has William Nylander looked out there for the Buds? Well, you know what? I thought he looked a little bit better in the game today. I thought his legs were going a little bit more. He was making some good passes. For him, it's going to take a few weeks to get going. I mean, that you can't say anything less than that. Because the guy had not played all year for this team. He has literally not played in a game in general since last year. Since these last 2 games. That's hard to do, especially when teams are almost mid-season form, almost like over 30 games in. It's not easy to jump right in having not played a game since last year. Yeah, practicing is one thing, but getting in a game scenario in the National Hockey League, it's a big, big difference. And Nylander is going to take some time. So guys, don't see no points in 2 games and the Leafs have lost both games. Oh, he's terrible. Just relax. All right? Am I angry about this loss? Yeah, they just flat out stunk. It's not like the amount of chances they gave up against the Bruins. It was the quality of the chances that was the problem. And they bit the Leafs in the butt. Freddie Anderson was not his best, and all the turnovers, all the terrible plays that were done by the Leafs got burned. They cannot be this bad again. This cannot be happening again. We know they need defense. I don't know what you do at the trade deadline. I'm not too sure. I don't know who's available. I don't know what the heck's going to be happening looking forward into the trade deadline, but we got to look forward, and the Leafs have 2 days off. Then they go to Carolina, taking on the Hurricanes, and Curtis McElhinney will probably be getting the start. He is 7-3 with a 2.36 goals against average and a .920 save percentage. He's playing damn good over there, as we all know he can. So, look, guys, last time we were there against Carolina, Curtis McElhinney did beat us. And the Leafs have now lost 2 straight games. Ideally, they got a point against the Detroit Red Wings, but you want to get 2 points. You want to win a game. You want to feel good about 2 points. Look, that game against the Red Wings, it was great to come back. But the fact they lost in overtime, it kind of hurts. And they were bound to get an overtime or shootout loss at some point this year. They weren't going to go the year not getting any. But the fact that they now go to Carolina, a team who has been kind of mediocre, right? They're 5-4-1 in their last 10 games. However, they have a goaltender in Curtis McElhinney who has done an amazing job for that team. And who did an amazing job for the Leafs when he was here. And you have him facing off against the team that he knows very well and did a very good job against in his last start. So, and he's had a great year. Like I said, 7-3 with a 2.36 goals against and a .920 save percentage. That's fantastic numbers. Reminds us of the days when he was with us. I still wish he was with us, but he's not. And it sucks. I mean, look, and then after that Carolina game, let's just kind of break things down here. You go to Tampa, then you go to Florida, then you're in New Jersey. The Leafs don't come home until Thursday the 20th. So, this team has really been a really good road team. Let's see it. You got some big games coming up. Carolina, well, it's a team. I wouldn't say it's a big game, but I wouldn't say it's like a. They're going to be a tough one. And then you have Tampa. Leafs are battling top of the Atlantic Division with the Tampa Bay Lightning and I think the Buffalo Sabres as well. I don't even know if where we are here. Buffalo, so they've lost 5 in a row. They can't win a game right now. The Leafs are 6 points back of the Tampa Bay Lightning, who have won 6 straight. They're 23-7. They're ridiculous. And you face them in the next 2 games. This team can't. They have to be better. Freddie Anderson has to be solid, and they got to come out with a victory. Look, they have Louis Domingue in the net. I don't think Vasilevsky's back at all. I know with Louis Domingue in the net, they've been winning games because they scored a ridiculous rate. If this Leaf team can contain the Lightning, you find a way to win. And then you face the Florida Panthers, who are a weird team. They're about 500. They play good some nights. They play horrendous another night. You never know what you're going to get from them. The Leafs got to find a way to take 2 points out of there. Like, if you can get a 3 out of 4 points against on that Florida trip, you're in good shape. It's not going to be easy, though. All right? So, you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you guys enjoyed this video and you guys just did not enjoy yesterday's game whatsoever, because I sure as heck didn't. Hit that like button. I do appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below, guys, what you think of the game. What do you think of Anderson? What do you think of the team's defensive plays in this game? I thought they were terrible on the defensive side. I want to hear what you guys have to say about this team's play as of late. And Evan and I will talk to you guys podcast edition either Tuesday or Thursday. And that's why sure yet, but I'll keep you guys posted in videos to come. All right, and I will. Twitter is also down below. Follow up, send me a DM, do all that great stuff, and I will talk to you guys Raptors edition tonight as the Raps take on the. Oh my goodness, who are they facing? I think it's. Oh my goodness, who are they facing tonight? Milwaukee at home, big game. Is Kawhi gonna play? Probably. Is Giannis gonna play? Probably. So we're gonna have to wait and see how this puppy plays out. It's gonna be a dogfight. Scotiabank Arena, 6 o'clock tip off, as the Raps look to get back in the win column after that tough overtime loss against the Brooklyn Nets. And they look to actually shoot the ball well. That team, Milwaukee, shoots the ball well. You got to be able to slow them down, which I think the Raptors can do because they're that good of a defensive team, but you got to be able to shoot. And as for the Leafs, guys, like we said, they take on the Carolina Hurricanes on Tuesday night. As the Leafs look to, as the Raptors do, look to get back into the win column after 2 tough losses. Obviously, the overtime loss against Detroit, and then yesterday's debacle against the Boston Bruins. Taking on Curtis McElhinney and the Carolina Hurricanes. And Freddie Anderson obviously will be getting the start for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Excuse me. And hope you guys enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you guys then.